Hi everyone, and thanks for following us on places I have been. This time our journey starts in Georgia, and we started our journey in the capital city of Tbilisi.
So Tbilisi is a cosmopolitan city and has all the features of any modern city in Europe, with great public services, restaurants, bars, and modern buildings.
We also traveled from Tbilisi to Yerevan, taking a nice sleeper train, which was an absolutely amazing experience. And I've got a separate video on that, and you can watch that on my channel, places I've been. There are lots of things to do in Tbilisi, lots of attraction places, and one of them is the FUNICULAR, which is a railroad up the mountains. This is one of the very old railroads, which was built in 1905 and is still in service. Taking the FUNICULAR up the mountain is a very cost-effective way of seeing the whole of Tbilisi from up the mountains, and provides very scenic and picturesque views of the city, the surrounding areas, and also a great place to go with kids and have some fun there. So as the locals are saying, from here, the whole Tbilisi is in the palm of your hand. And that's true. The whole journey up the hill is the food. So let's have a look at these all lovely traditional Georgian food.
Starting off with the drinks.
Okay, this is a sweet dish. We're gonna try open it up. This is a very traditional food with cheese, melted cheese and egg in the bread. This is again bread with a stuffed potato, and this one is bread with the mashed beans in it. So all lovely with all the very traditional drinks. So this drink is a iced tea with berry flavor. This is a cherry juice, and this is iced coffee and special diet coffee. Okay, let's crack on, Mike. How is it, Yusuf?
Yeah, it's great. It's really crunchy on the outside, and it's got a soft, fluffy interior. So, 10 out of 10.
Now my turn.
Let's hear the verdict.
From the outside. Oh, it's lovely. You can see all the bean coming out.
Say about it.
Go on.
Look, she said I was.
Sunny side up, quite runny. And this is cheese. So you can take the funicular back down the hill, or do what we did. Just take the steps and the walking route back down, which is a good exercise, I think. Oh yeah, look at the view from here. Absolutely amazing this. So fast forward our way down the hill. It's time for dinner. Let's go and have some more traditional food. Whoa. How are we gonna do this? Cheers. So, any traditional Georgian food you like, you can find in this street. Both sides, small restaurants serving all the traditional food. Yusuf?
Very welcoming.
Very welcome residents. Yes, Georgians are very famous for their hospitality and greetings and being nice to tourists. Coming up. This is a very pretty part of the city, very beautiful. Just view from the top of the Peace Bridge. Across you see all the chairlifts. So the plan is to take those chairlifts and go across the river over onto the mountains
Here.
and from there you can have the best views of
Amazing views.
of the city, and also you get close to the big statue of Mother Georgia.
Now inside the one of the chairlift, we're going over the river, and that side you should see the Peace Bridge.
Yep, the Peace Bridge.
Peace Bridge is there, so behind us is the Hyde Park. And it's actually an amazing way to see this part of the city. Church is here.
And also
And that statue of one of the old Georgian king, this is another famous church.
on the very right side, you see the very, very famous statue of Mother Georgia.
This is the view you get on the other side of the mountain. Mother Georgia. You can actually the sense of how big this statue is once you come up here and stand here.
So after a short taxi drive, we went to Trinity Church, which is also a very famous church and a must-see place. So don't miss it.
So 5 o'clock, rush hour, Tbilisi traffic jam, eh?
Yeah, it's really busy.
So Tbilisi is kind of split between the old part of the town and the new part of the town. This is the old part that we're driving through. They all have interesting places to see, so it's quite interesting to meet and to see both parts of the city, the old and the new.
This is a very old part of Tbilisi.
All have their own features and characteristics.
Now we are taking the Tbilisi metro or underground train. So Tbilisi metro is one of the oldest. It's actually quite cheap. You can take a ticket for 50 lari, 50 pence or half a lari, and then you can use it for almost an hour. You can go to any destination with that ticket you want. And so this is a really value for money kind of travel you make around the town. It's quite nicely linked with a lot of stations. So right now we are taking the metro to go to the Chronicle of Georgia. The Chronicle of Georgia, as you can see here, is quite away, a little bit away from the city center. As you know, we took the metro a few stops, and then from there by bus. So that's quite an easy journey and quite cost effective, as you can get there quite easily, and it only costs you less than a few dollars to get here. And this Chronic of Georgia then overlooking the Tbilisi Sea, which is a massive lake in the back, and I'll show you there when we get there. The Chronic of Georgia was built in year 2000 to
So if you go around the back of the massive monument, you'll have a fantastic view of the Tbilisi Sea, which is actually a lake, but as you can see, it is absolutely magnificent, massive. There are sways of people swimming in there. Also, there's a cool crisp breeze, so even in like the 30 plus degrees Celsius, quite cool up here.
Okay guys, another day in Georgia, Tbilisi. Look at all this lovely food here. So we have mushroom, we have chicken barbecue, we have eggplant with cheese, we have kinkali with different fillings. And this is lubiani
beans stuffed in the bread. This place is actually quite famous for vegetarians. So as you can see, plenty of lovely vegetarian foods here.
So we become red list. Okay, let's go, guys. Typical Friday night of Tbilisi.
Oh yeah, it's a fly.
Yeah. So next morning we are taking a hired car and planning to go to KAZBEGI, which is up on the mountains. When you're making your way towards KAZBEGI, agree with your driver to stop by a few stops, which are very attractive places to see, and this is the only way you can see them, is to stop by, have a quick look around, take some pictures, and hop back in the car and make your way to KAZBEGI. So from Tbilisi to KAZBEGI is about 3-hour journey, but there are at least two stops that you should make to see some other attraction places. So the first stop is about an hour drive from Tbilisi, is the castle and church of ANANURI. This is an amazing viewing point. You can go inside the castle and church. There's no ticket or payment required. You can actually walk alongside the castle walls. You can go inside the small compartments, which are still standing in pretty good condition. It's a bit tricky walking up on the castle walls in the narrow staircases up the towers and all that, but you just have to be careful. So there are no handrails, and is a bit treacherous. The way is a bit slippery, but if you're careful, it's wide enough. You can walk alongside the walls, and you can get some amazing views from there, picturesque views, and also the view of the church, the castle, and the surrounding, the lake. So it's a must-see place. And if you have the time and you're going towards KAZBEGI, you have to make that stop and have a look at this castle, which is absolutely amazing. The bells are ringing in the church. It's still a working church. This is a really tricky way to get down, so I'm not going to turn the camera off. Bear with me. These steps are so narrow. A lot of people coming to see this place also. You can stay on the beach here. Yeah. To be honest, this is not a long drive from Tbilisi. So 1 hour drive, you come to here for a day out, have a picnic. So the drive from Tbilisi to KAZBEGI all the way has got such a scenic views. As you can see here, like, look at the green, the grass, the mountains, the sky, the clouds. It's just so picturesque.
It's just simply a breathtaking view.
And
You do not want to miss this view. This is like a once in a lifetime opportunity, except just not once in a lifetime, but still once in a lifetime.
and the contrast between the clouds, the clear blue sky, and the vivid green grass that simply blankets all the mountains, it really does leave an engraved picture in your mind.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we are getting to our next stop, which is Friendship Monument. There's another stop that you should speak to your driver or agree with him that you have to take a break there and then have a look at that view. And the view from the top of that mountain is another breathtaking view that you should not miss. What? So on the way to
It's just a straight drop down. I don't know if I'm shivering because I'm scared or if I'm shivering because I'm cold. I don't know.
It's a true representation of risk and reward.
So there's a friendship monument. Yeah, what's the story behind all of this? Between Russia. So this was a friendship monument built between Russia and Georgia.
We have now arrived in KAZBEGI, and now we are heading to KAZBEGI Trinity Church, which is located on one of the highest mountains in the location.
So the main road is closed. We have to take the side road, which is a dirt road, and is a proper test for 4x4ing on this road. Self-drive to the church, think twice. Best is to hire one of these 4x4s with very experienced drivers. They will take you up there in one piece and bring you back. This is an absolutely beautiful scenery of GERGETI mountains. We are right on top at the moment, KAZBEGI mountain. And then the main attraction point, in addition to all the beautiful sceneries, is the church. This is an amazing location. The church has been built here. The locals call this church the closest to heaven, mainly because of the height. It's so close to the skies. So there is a dress code for this church when you come in, and people who are not dressed in according to the requirements of this church, there are sheets, clothes that they can use in that changing area, changing room, so they can be dressed appropriately before they go inside the church. So here we can see the KAZBEGI village, where it's surrounded by all high mountains, which is absolutely beautiful. And also here is the actual church. We're gonna go inside later, have a look. Bell towers. So from here we can also see the KAZBEGI mountain, which is the third highest in KAZBEGI, yeah? Third highest of Georgia. Okay. Part of the Caucasian mountain series. Or mountain range, yeah. Oh, it feels so good to be back on the road, eh?
We are now going to Tbilisi waterfall, which is one of the biggest waterfalls in the area.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of a hike up there. You need to The 4x4 cars takes you up to certain areas. Then from there you have to get off and do the walk on the mountains. It's actually quite a nice hike, and it's quite a beautiful walk to do in this area.
There are also some parts where it's pretty steep, but if you're able to get past those, it's a pretty easy hike. A hike most of us can accomplish, and you might find some small rocks you might have to climb on over the way.
KAZBEGI is actually quite famous among the hikers, so there are some really high mountains. People come here for hiking, and if hiking is your holiday destination, then consider KAZBEGI, because here I think there are mountains of different heights, different difficulties that you can choose from, and then you can camp here, you can stay overnight in these mountains. So there are lots of things to do. I put in some links to the hiking packages and stuff which are available locally that you might find it helpful as well.
Don't drink it. Here we are, the big waterfall. Woo! Sam, he just hits you on the face. Oh, that mist. Breeze, cold breeze. It's out. Amazing.
I know.
Now heading back to our hotel in KAZBEGI village. Oh, I got punctured. So if you're planning to go for a hike, it's better to start early in the morning. Pick up some local food and bakery stuff which are locally available, and then head on to the mountains.
Local bakery. And what are these up here?
Beans.
Beans, okay.
This is cheese.
Yes, one of those, please. I had one yesterday. That one. One.
One.
Yes, please.
This is the end of the video. We really enjoyed our stay in Georgia. Thanks for watching.
Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss out on a place we go.
We love you. Bye.